When you're on the go, it's good to know GrubMart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local GrubMart today.
Out of the Heat timeout. It'll be a 2nd down and 7 officially right at midfield for Cherokee County. As Cornejo on the call as he'll go off of right tackle and get into Piedmont territory inside the 45 to the 44. So both teams able to score so far in the first quarter. Cornejo on a 4-yard touchdown run. And also you have Cole Wilson with his first touchdown pass of the season to Ishmael Bethel of 62 yards. It'll be a 1st down and 10, as that was enough to move the sticks on an iCare Alabama 1st down as Cornejo up the middle as he'll get a couple of yards on the play.
I believe that's Tay Diamond running in the backfield right now.
I'm glad you saw that because, yeah, we did see a little bit of Tay Diamond last year, and you are correct. Now I do see him as what you get used to calling Cornejo's name, and now, at least wisely so, not only tonight but over the course of the season, at least Coach Jacob Kelly looking to develop somebody as that backup to kind of at least carry the load in the backfield for Cherokee County.
That's a good guy to have replacing, you know.
Tay Diamond, an all-state defensive end last year, as he'll once again get the call. As Eddie pointed out, has gotten all of the carries so far on this drive as he'll get into, or at least inside the Piedmont 40-yard line to the 37. Yeah, Tay Diamond just kind of slipped in there all of a sudden, but so far showing some good work as far as the running back position, but it's his meat and butter as far as his contribution to the Warriors football program on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, he's a great guy to put back there to give Cornejo a break right there, and then you get the workhorse right there, and then he does what he do. He knows how to move the sticks.
And there's Cornejo as he's going off of right guard inside the 35 as they'll spot the ball at the 32-yard line for another iCare Alabama 1st down.
Cherokee County has those massive bodies on the right side right there, so, you know, hey, he got all the protection he needs.
Of course, we can talk about iCare Alabama, Dr. Mohan and company with locations all across this area of Alabama, Atala, Piedmont, Heflin, and Roanoke with quality eye care close to home. Give up the middle to Cornejo as he'll get maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Solid defense from Trevor Pike, Chance Murphy, and others for Piedmont. Also, we'd like to remind you, as far as our season coverage of the FNN High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by our friends at Victory Law. And so the defense for Piedmont looking to stiffen up here as they've given up some real estate with the drive originally beginning at the 15-yard line for Cherokee County, as we'll have a whistle to blow the play dead and a flag on the play. And that'll be a false start, as, by the way, our head referee, Ray Lindsay from the Alabama High School Athletic Association.
Now you may see a pass right here. 2nd and long, you may see him try to get.
Well, officially the ball at the 37-yard line, and will be a 2nd down and long yardage situation. Right now, both teams have been able to move the ball, at least methodically, on the ground for Cherokee County, exclusively on the ground, and then a quick strike for Piedmont on their last offensive drive. Here's the give to Cornejo off the right side as he gets excellent blocking into the open field and gets inside the 30, close to the 20-yard line. And that should be good enough for another iCare Alabama 1st down.
Well, if you see him again right here, you're going to watch him come off You see those two guys pulling right in there, and you're going to see him follow those guys. And, he put that hand down the running back drill, and it's just hard to bring him down.
Morrow, Tire, and Aldo once again with our second look as Jacob McElroy off the bench coming in on the tackle. As Cherokee County will just plod right on in to that offensive line off the right side. As Cornejo, the workhorse so far, as we've seen Tay Diamond get about 3 or 4 carries so far on this drive as well. We're under 2 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. Infinity Boat Docks with your boating and shoreline needs all throughout Northeast Alabama, bringing you our first quarter. As Cornejo, a nice stutter step, but even better discipline as far as the tackling that time that we see from, looks like Luke Reinhardt, the linebacker for Piedmont on the tackle.
Well, they're running a little trap right there. They're trying to trap the one technique. They're blocking back on the nose guard, and they're trying to trap the one technique. And, I love the way Cornejo lets the block develop, and then he gets up in there. He don't rush anything. He just kind of take his time, They got those foot-to-foot splits, so they're going to pound it up in there.
Keyshawn Woods also in the game for Cherokee County at a running back spot. This will be 3rd and 3, line to reach the 10 for the first down. Also, another red zone opportunity as here's Woods off the right side going, check Woods indeed into the end zone. Touchdown for Cherokee County.
Well, it's just power right there. If you look at the replay, right here, it's just body on body right there, and he just let it develop. Cornejo got a good block right there, and he just run it in.
There you see the Morrow Tire and Auto replay at that Woods 13-yard touchdown run and another successful Ethan Rogers Alpha Insurance Agency red zone trip for Cherokee County. So it'll be Frampton missing his first PAT. He'll have a second chance at it. Low snap, good hold though, and a better kick this time as the PAT is up and good. We'll take the timeout. Cherokee County leading 13-7 here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by Infinity Docks.
Bama Sheds and Pole Barns, locally and family owned with the best customer service. Custom built to fit your needs with free delivery and setup. Design and price online or stop by and see what we can do for you. Nobody beats our prices and nobody beats our quality. Built in Alabama, made in Alabama. BamaSheds.com.
An 85-yard touchdown march that time for Cherokee County as they retake the lead at 13-7 with Keyshawn Woods scoring his first touchdown of the night as Frampton boots it away. A Law Pools kickoff for Cherokee County as Raleigh Pinto getting good blocking off the right side, and another good kickoff return as this time he'll advance it across the 40-yard line to about the 43.
Absolutely, that was a great kickoff return right there. He counted, and Piedmont has some speed now. You see some explosiveness out of a couple of players there.
FNN Bank, longtime partners of ours here at FNN, presents you our season coverage here of the FNN High School Football Game of the Week. It'll be Cole Wilson coming back out, operating in the shotgun. And there you see two receivers to our far side. As it'll be the keeper for Wilson. Finds some good blocking that time, at least adjusts where the play was going, finds a hole, and gets close to midfield. Very nicely done that time. This will see our Morrow Tire and Auto replay, Coach.
Well, he's kind of nifty right there. He put the zone read in, and he pulls it. He starts to his left, which is not designed to go left. It's actually designed for him to originally go right, but I think he saw it a little clogged up, so he decided to go back to where he should have went in the first place.
Trips receivers to the far side as we are to the end of the first quarter, brought to you by Infinity Boat Docks. As this been a back-and-forth first quarter so far, Cherokee County leading after one 13-7 from the Field of Champions here at Piedmont on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week presented by Infinity Docks.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the FNN Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnn.bank. Member FDIC.
Tonight's FNN Game of the Week is sponsored in part by Advantage Tire and Alignment, Raglan Food Barn, Couches Jewelers, Law Pools and Patio, Ron's Good Barbecue and Cutter's Pizzeria, and by attorney Stephen R. Morris. Now, back to more of tonight's Game of the Week on FNN.
I should tell my team where the fullback go, he's going to take you to the football.
It'll be a first down, as Carson Tittle has yet to throw a pass so far this evening. Here's play action. Tittle tosses high and incomplete. Off the hands that time of his intended receiver, as it'll be a second down and 10 coming up. Ben Mosley, the tight end, the intended receiver.
Well, he had a man open right there. He just threw it a little bit high. His release was a little bit high. Mechanics, he got to stand tall and get that ball over his ear there. See, the ball kind of sailed on him a little bit.
That's exactly what I was thinking, is there you see both Pike and the cornerback Demetrius Owen in coverage for Piedmont. So second down and 10. Football right at the 20 as there's the pitch to Carnejo as he'll lower his shoulder and get about a couple of yards. Good, solid pursuit. Pike helping out on the play. And you also had for Piedmont, Cale Austin helping out on the tackle. So it's going to set up a third down and 9 to go. So just maybe about a yard and a half that time. So the line to reach the first down, the iCare Alabama first down, will be the 30-yard line, their own, for the Cherokee County Warriors.
Well, Piedmont safety did a good job running the alley. He was the only block that was unaccounted for. And, he came down and made a great play. That's what you do. Once you rerun, you come down. You just have to slow play it, though, because you'll see that toss, and you may see him slip somebody out and throw it behind you.
Third and a long 8, and we'll have our first timeout called for by either team. The first for Cherokee County, and we'll take a timeout with them here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by Infinity Docs.
Advantage Tire and Alignment on Highway 202 in Anniston is so much more than just a new tire and rim shop. There's not enough time in this ad to tell you all the many things they can do to help keep your car in tip-top shape. Advantage Tire uses ASE certified technicians, so you know any work done is top-notch. Bottom line, if it needs repaired or replaced, they can probably do the job and save you money. And when it comes time for new or used tires and rims, Advantage Tire and Alignment prices just can't be beat. Stop in and see Bruce and the crew today. Advantage Tire and Alignment.
Infinity Docs brings you our FNN High School Football Game of the Week. That's also Duggar Mountain Chocolate and Firearms brings you our second quarter. And here's play action for Tittle. He'll stop, looks for a receiver, under pressure, and going down inside the 15-yard line as Chance Murphy, the top defender on this Piedmont squad, on the sack.
Well, it's a great job by Piedmont, but I think he probably held on to it too long. He had a couple of guys. He had the fullback in the flats, and he had a receiver coming across the middle that was open, and I just think he didn't pull the trigger.
Morrow Tire and Auto bringing you another look at that Chance Murphy sack by Piedmont, as they'll get some good field position with a Cherokee County punt upcoming. Blake Butts standing in his own end zone for Cherokee County. Gets a low line drive spiral. That'll go across the 40 and a solid Cherokee County roll as it'll land at midfield and get touched there, but outstanding field position and the best starting field position coming up tonight for Piedmont. And I've been very impressed with what we've seen so far. Very first start as a varsity quarterback for Cole Wilson for Piedmont, but Jonathan Miller told me during the week, this is a quarterback that can make all the throws, and we've seen some of that tonight, Eddie.
Well, and I like the confidence that he throws the football with, when he sets in the pocket, you can look at his demeanor. He's like, he lets you know he know what he's doing, So I like the confidence, and that's half the battle, is having the confidence to make the throws.
So you'll have Jordan come out as the only running back, as we'll have a whistle to stop play. Looks as if Piedmont trying to get a substitution, and they do, onto the field. So now we're back underway. Football right at midfield on the first down and 10. Here's the give to Jordan, and he gets immediately tackled as he gets lucky to get maybe a half-yard loss that time, as there you see Aiden Watts along with about a couple others helping out on the tackle.
Well, it's something that they're seeing. They blitzing in that A-gap right there. Once they figure out what it is, they it's something that's keying them off, and as soon as the ball snaps, you get an A-gap blitz. So,
looking at the Cherokee County defense, you have Aiden Watts and Tay Diamond, the defensive ends. Tay Diamond, his third year starting on defense for Cherokee County. Wilson under pressure, trying to find time and trying to escape, and does so as he gets across the original line of scrimmage. That was very impressive poise to get out of trouble that time for Wilson as he gets positive yards to set up a third down and about 8 to go.
Absolutely. He's doing a fantastic job. I mean, he's hard to bring down, too.
Cherokee County substitution defensively as Lyndon Ransom checks back in. Caleb Harbor, the defensive tackle, by the way, for the Warriors of Cherokee County. Tristan Brown and Hayden Wheeler, the outside linebackers. Alex Lloyd and Jacob Carnejo, the other linebackers, the inside linebackers. Wilson under pressure. He will take off and throw down the field, and that is incomplete. Intended for Pikes that time, as he got away just a little bit briefly that time, did Pike, but the pass overthrown, I should say, under pressure.
But I'm still looking at the speed of these receivers. These two guys are actually getting away. They get behind the defense pretty easily. And if you look right there, he's behind the defense right there. And, that would be something I would discuss at halftime, because they just get behind the secondary too easily.
Caden Cardelli, the other Cardelli, will punt for the first time this season. A 3-and-out for the Cherokee County defenses. That's a good high spiraling punt. That'll be a fair catch at the 19. And I think there was actually a move made also that time by Carson Chestnut. Surprised there wasn't a delay of game flag thrown that time. But it'll be a first down and 10 for Cherokee County from about their own 19.
Well, typically they do, and then you have some officials that'll give a warning first, and then after that, if you foul catch and you run it, they'll throw the hanky down.
There you see our friends at Duggar Mountain Chocolate and Firearms joining the FNN family this evening. Give them a call at 256-792-9400. That's Duggar Mountain Chocolate and Firearms. First down and 10 for Cherokee County, as it'll be the keeper for Carnejo as he's knocked
a good Tuesday evening from Struts Wings. We are live here in Oxford, ready for another edition of the FNN Tuesday night high school football coaches show. The usual cast is back at the table this week. Jim Jacobs here in the center, Joe Medley to my right from East Alabama Sports Today, and to my left, the recovering voice of the FNN Game of the Week, James Hardy. James showed us last week what it means to play hurt.
Exactly. I can show you some toughness now.
Struggled through getting through the end of the Oxford Clay Chalkville game. And, of course, Joe, let's swing it over to you and talk just a little bit about the atmosphere out at White Plains this past Friday night. I know it didn't turn out the way the Wildcats wanted it to, but just talk about the atmosphere just a little bit.
Well, first of all, that's the first time I've covered a White Plains game and had trouble finding a place to park. And the whole field kind of on the hill behind the stadium there was full of cars. And when you walk in the stadium, you can see the gauntlet of students coming out from the steps, where the team comes down from the stairs and from their locker room. That gauntlet was more than 50 yards long. Both sides.
That's very promising for White Plains as far as their long-term future.
It is, and the home grandstand was full, and that was quite an occasion, and that's you talk about the whole chicken and the egg thing. Does something good have to happen before they stay home, or do they have to stay home to make something good happen? Well, something good happened.
Yeah, exactly, and they've had so much success out there in other sports. I mean, of course, starting with basketball, Coach Randall does such a good job out there with his program. They've had success in baseball. They've had a lot of success softball, track and field. But the football program has just it's just floundered. There's no other way to put it.
There's been a lot of thought that it wouldn't be a bad thing if reclassification somehow shifted, White Plains down maybe a step, and Calhoun County schools have seen a drop in enrollment, so it's certainly possible. 3A North is not easy, but I think it's a little easier than 4A South right now, and that would be a good thing to happen to them.
But Joe, the way the lines are drawn now by the stupid computers, they could be in the South. They could be with Welborn in 3A if that were to happen.
Yeah,
it's not likely, but it's possible.
But I still think 3A South is better than 4A South. 4A South is about like the SEC West. Well,
there's just no, and we talked about this in the pregame show last week. There's just no weeks off.
No.
There's no gimmies. You got to earn every single one of those region wins that you get either at home or on the road, and just none of them are easy.
This is the second year in a row that not only 4A South, but you include 4A North, top to bottom, that's pretty much been stacked. And like you just mentioned, Jim, as far as not having any days off. So, yeah, I think for White Plains, even if they got 3A South, that'd be another step forward as far as allowing them to be a bit more competitive as far as their football program.
Well, you blink and it's over with, guys. We're already pushing week 9 now of the regular season. Our next to last game of the week coming up this Friday, and hopefully we're going to have a good one. We've got a trip over to Moody to Bill Morris Stadium for our first ever visit there. It'll be the battle for the belt and a whole lot more as Southside travels in to take on the Moody Blue Devils, and we'll talk about the region standings coming up here in just a minute in 5A Region 6, but this game right here, who would have thought Southside would have been in this position given what happened in week 0?
I remember the last couple of years, Jim, when we look at this Southside program, how they had pieces as far as being able to be a competitive program, especially this year and last year in 5A, but just couldn't get the win in October that they needed to take the next step forward. Well, they've already done so as far as their win against Leeds, and this is a golden opportunity, not only as far as clinching a region, but really taking another step forward as far as being a top 10 program year in and year out.
And, of course, Joe, you've got all the nuts and bolts on the region deal with them, and it sounds like Southside's really in the driver's seat almost regardless of what happens Friday. They don't clinch it with a loss, but they get in really good shape going into the game with Etowah.
If they beat Moody this week, obviously they are the region champ.
Hayes in the barn.
That makes it easy. If they lose this week, I was counting up their points they would get from non-region opponents. They've beaten Hoax Bluff, which has 5 wins to this point. Boaz has 3. And if they were to beat Etowah, that would be 3. So that's 11 potential based on what their records are now. Leeds has beaten Pell City, which right now has 1 win. Okay, there may still be an appeal going on there, but Sylacauga has 1 win. But then they play Center Point, which has 7. So that if they were to beat Center Point, and let's say Southside were to lose to Etowah, then maybe Southside would fall back to second.
So there you go. There's basically what's got to happen. And, boy, you know what? If you're Etowah, wouldn't you like to catch Southside in a position to where they had to beat you to – I mean, you're talking about rivalries. I mean, that's been a chippy game. I mean, we've seen it. That's a chippy game. And with those kinds of things on the line, it would really ramp that thing up. And I believe it's at Etowah this year.
It is.
Isn't it? Yeah, so there you go. A team that hadn't had a whole lot to cheer about this year could have a whole lot in a hurry if Southside falls at Moody this Friday. All right, well, we've talked about last week. We've talked a little bit about what's ahead for us this week. Let's talk about our guest lineup tonight and get started. We've got 3 schools in the house this evening and, of course, a player of the week to take care of. Coach Ken Kofer is here with the Weaver Bearcats, and they've had a rebounding kind of year, Joe. I would have to say that folks out in Weaver should be pretty happy with what's going on out there.
I would say right now that Weaver and White Plains are probably the 2, in Pleasant Valley too.
Yeah.
3 places that have had a lot of struggles are in a place of encouragement right now.
We mentioned Southside. Coach Miles Holcomb and a couple of his guys are going to be with us tonight. And kind of our featured school this evening because of the player of the week, the Westbrook Christian Warriors will be here. Michael Mitchell is our player of the week. And, of course, Coach Steve Smith, and it's really weird seeing him in anything but blue, but they'll be here tonight as well. And that's our guest lineup tonight here for the FNN Tuesday Night High School Football Coaches Show. So we'll take our first break of the evening, and when we come back, Weaver is on deck. Coach Ken Kofer sits down with us when we continue live from Strutt's Grill here in Oxford on the FNN Tuesday Night High School Football Coaches Show. Please stay with us.
Family owned and operated for over 50 years, Miller Funeral Home is committed to providing families with the finest services for their loved ones, including our newest service, Aquamation. Aquamation is a gentle, respectful, and eco-friendly alternative to flame cremation. Miller Funeral Home is the only facility in the state of Alabama that offers the Aquamation service. Call us or visit our website today to learn more about how we can serve you and your loved ones.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So show off your colors and support your local school with the FNM Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Welcome back to Struts Wings here in Oxford. It's the FNN Tuesday night high school football coaches show. Jim Jacobs, Joe Medley, and joined by the head coach of the Weaver Bearcats, first year at the helm, of course, Coach Ken Kofer. And, Coach, welcome back to the show.
Yeah, man, glad to be on. Thanks
Did you
for
get
having
your
us.
wings yet?
Not yet.
Yeah, what's your flavor now?
Hot lemon pepper.
Hot lemon
those
pepper.
things are off the chain.
All right, well, Joe's got it all pulled up over here, so let's talk about the season a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Well, just looking at it, first of all, can you? I think I have my read on what a three-way would look like. How's it look? What do you see?
You talking about on the tie? Is that
Yes,
what you're
a
talking
three-way
about?
tie.
I'm still stuck on Georgia rules. Everybody keeps asking me, and I'm so worried about this Friday and just focusing on that, and that I really haven't asked. Some of the other coaches are kind of getting after that a little bit and trying to find out what's going on. My concern, man, is just Beulah.
Beat Beulah.
Beat Beulah and us. And that we've said that in the past about, we can worry about other teams a little bit, but we need to worry about us. We need to worry about how we're performing and how we're executing and all that kind of stuff. So that's my main priority. Man, I know that's coach speak and all that kind of stuff, but I'm just telling you the truth. I can't look past anything else. I just got to worry about the one this Friday.
Well, for the folks that don't want to hear about coaches, don't want to look ahead, we're talking about Beulah, Childersburg, and
Weaver as a potential. And right now it's looking like Childersburg has 8 points with their non-region wins,
right?
Which would put them in advance. But
Okay.
but in your case, there's a chance there. You're looking at possibly doubling the best win total this program's had in the years.
Several years, yep.
Right. I think when we talked the first time before the year started, it was kids buy-in. It was all about them and the coaches as well. And the weight program just, it keeps getting better and better. And I can't say enough about our kids believing in that. Our coaches believing in it. And, man, our girls, that's not even have anything to do with football, but our girls are buying into it too. And it's a big thing. I can't say anything about just the student body. And that's, you're trying not just to build that football program, but you're trying to build the student body too. And, man, student section, band, man, they're all into it. And that's what I kind of thrive off of too.
Well, I like the community feel that I sense.
Yes,
I mean, to me, that's the best gauge of where a football program really is at a moment, other than the wins and losses and what you see on the field, of course, and on the film study. But when you feel a buzz in a community about a high school football team, and trust me, they haven't had a lot to buzz about in Weaver lately,
right.
And you know all that. We've talked about all that, Coach, but the people are behind you right now.
Yes, sir. I think so. And I think they've been behind everything in the past and stuff like that. They just, you got to give them a little excitement. And I think we've done that by fighting. But, sooner or later, they're going to be after my tail about winning those ball games. We're trying to do that. And I wouldn't want to be where there's not pressure, if that makes sense. I want to be somewhere where there's pressure to win. And, I put enough on myself. I'm not really worried about anybody else putting it on. This is pretty strong with just me putting it on myself. But we want to raise that level, and we want to raise the standard at Weaver High School, and that's what we're trying to do. And I think the fans and the parents, they understand that, and they're behind that as well. So we're just trying to make a better program.
Caden Gooden, we talked about him in preseason getting the offer from Marshall, and when I saw you play against Sachs, I was impressed with how well he threw the ball.
Right.
I guess I hadn't seen that out of him to this point. And first of all, I understand he was hurt Friday night. How's that going? And then just talk about his development this year.
Yeah, he just had a big old kid from Welbert fall on him, and I'm glad that's all it was. They have some big kids over there at Welbert, big, strong guys, and they do a great job. But development over I think he believed in it. And when you have some kids believe in your schemes and stuff like that, it kind of trickles down with everybody. And Caden definitely believes in that. I kind of went to a different formation, not necessarily different plays, but a different formation, primarily against Randolph County. And at halftime, Caden kind of stood up, and it wasn't any rebelling or anything like that. It was just, Coach, can we go back to Horseman? And I took that and I said, yes, sir. And it was just, to me, it was belief, and that's just a different formation that we use. And he was one of those believers, and you really don't have quarterbacks wanting to go to that formation. It was just something that he believed in, and he liked it. And, he thought we would better win. It it didn't necessarily provide him with anything better. He just knew that was the best chance to win. That's the best chance that we're going to compete, and you can't say enough about a team player like that. And that's what he does. But, yeah, he's developed over the year, and he believes in that kind of stuff. And I think when he develops, all those other kids have gone and upped their game as well.
Well, Coach, you got 2 left, of course. We'll see you the last Thursday of the season out at Pleasant Valley. Looking forward to bringing that to the fans all over the area. But after you take the bus ride home from Pleasant Valley, what's the next few months look like for this football program? What do you see happening that needs to happen?
Yeah, I'm hoping playoff time. That's number one. But no, just it's weight room and seeing these other kids compete in these other sports. Wrestling's starting, and when our season ends officially, they'll go into that. Basketball, same thing right there. But no, weight room off season, and we hit the ground running in June, and haven't looked back since. There hadn't really been any breaks for me, but man, I'm enjoying this stuff. I'm happy to be at Weaver High School and be a Bearcat, man. I got all the support in the world from administration, just parents, and just community. It's a family atmosphere, and that's what I want to be a part of. I want to be a part of that. But no, weight room, man. And I'm gonna kind of put this out here and put a little plug out. Is in Georgia, it was kind of a big deal for weightlifting competitions and stuff like that. So I'm gonna do some calling around to some folks and ADs and football coaches and see if they want to compete. Maybe late winter, early spring right there, and see if they want to do stuff like that and get this started in Alabama. And I think some people do it. I just haven't heard a lot about it because I'm kind of new, and this is my 3rd year here in Alabama. But I definitely want to get that cranked up and just give our kids something else to compete in and in weightlifting and stuff like that. So I'm kind of throwing that out there too.
And looking ahead, let's talk about some of the kids you would have coming back next year in that scenario that have kind of emerged this year.
Yeah, Keyshawn Allen, man, jumps off the board right there, and this dude has come on. And, he broke his collarbone pretty bad the year before I got to Weaver, and he's a playmaker. He is one of those guys, and he is definitely going to, be one of those. DJ Welch is one. Brandon Jolliffe is one. Jabari Clark is one. Can't say enough about a freshman that we have at centers, Caden Green. That dude does not play. He doesn't look like a freshman. He's got a full-grown beard. God bless him. But he is dominant. He is a good player, and we got 3 more years with that big joker. So can't say enough about him either. And, got a freshman linebacker. He drives me crazy sometimes. But A.J. Crook, man, he's a good one as well. So I wanted to mention those guys.
Well, speaking of players, Coach, tell us who you brought with you tonight so we can get them in and let James sit down with them and have a few words.
Yeah, brought 2 good dudes over here with me. Chris Thornton, 2 seniors, and
right.
Richard Knowlton. And, those are some of our offensive linemen, and Richard plays a little bit of linebacker for us as well. He's a Mike and a Willie, too. He's kind of changed positions, but he makes a lot of calls for us. And, man, just 2 good kids, 2 good Christian kids right here. And I couldn't say enough good things about them. That's why I brought them with me.
I saved this for last. You've been on that behind lately?
I've been on that behind every day. Every day, man. And I think they get a little tired of it, but I think it wouldn't be a normal day if I didn't get on that behind.
I hear you. Coach, thank you for coming.
Yes, sir.
Good luck Friday night against Beulah, and
thank you, sir.
Hopefully the dominoes will fall.
Yes, sir.
Ken Kofer, the head football coach of the Weaver Bearcats. We will step aside. James will slide back here in the middle of the table, and we'll have the 2 young men from Weaver up next here on the Tuesday night high school football coaches show on FNN.
Advantage Tire and Alignment on Highway 202 in Anniston is so much more than just a new tire and rim shop. There's not enough time in this ad to tell you all the many things they can do to help keep your car in tip-top shape. Advantage Tire uses ASE certified technicians, so you know any work done is top-notch. Bottom line, if it needs repaired or replaced, they can probably do the job and save you money. And when it comes time for new or used tires and rims, Advantage Tire and Alignment prices just can't be beat. Stop in and see Bruce and the crew today. Advantage Tire and Alignment.
The Calhoun County Commission made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
A lot of people always wonder, how does your first-time buyers program work? Hey, I'm here to tell you that we do bad credit, good credit, even no credit at all. I even got down payments as low as $500, even got cards as low as $169 a month. So stop by, let's check it out. Let's see if we can get you approved today. Come by at 411 East Street North, Talladega, Alabama, 35160. Telephone number 205-332-7993. Let's come get you a deal.
Family owned and operated for over 50 years, Miller Funeral Home is committed to providing families with the finest services for their loved ones, including our newest service, Aquamation. Aquamation is a gentle, respectful, and eco-friendly alternative to flame cremation. Miller Funeral Home is the only facility in the state of Alabama that offers the Aquamation service. Call us or visit our website today to learn more about how we can serve you and your loved ones.
And we welcome you back into the FNN Coaches Show here in Oxford at Strut Swings. James Hardy with you, and we continue our spotlight with Weaver High School. In fact, we'll actually be seeing them next week as part of our at least 2-for-1 when it comes to the FNN High School football game of the week next week. But for the Weaver Bearcats this week, their final home game as far as the 2023 season, so senior night against Beulah, and their region finale as well. And we continue our Weaver spotlight. Richard Knowlton off to my left and Chris Thornton off to my right. A big thank you for both of you for joining us.
Well, thank you for having us.
And let's start with you, Richard. Just how's – I know y'all are almost to the finish line as far as the season. No, maybe the record's not what y'all wanted it to be, but it seems as if y'all been very competitive in practically every game y'all played this year.
Oh, yes, sir. It's just when Coach Kofer came in and everything, the mentality is amazing, especially what he brought. It's just getting anybody, anywhere, anytime, and just wanting to hit you in the mouth. That's basically all it was. And that's kept us in so many games, and even the games that we lost, we've still finished them in full, go. That's also all we want, really, for the season, just to build off of this foundation and everything, being seniors. And I couldn't ask for a better coach, honestly.
And then, Chris, just kind of describe how you've seen the season going so far.
Like you said, I think we're more physical this year, and mostly we're mentally there, and I feel like we just had better sportsmanship, good sportsmanship, because I just like how we feel now. I feel more like a family in football now than I ever have these couple of years, and Coach Kofer really just made it more special to everybody.
So y'all feel like that the program and the team is taking steps forward?
Oh, yes, sir. Of course. Sir, really do. Of course.
And then, Richard, as far as just kind of elaborate on that, where have you seen, as far as just this team, take, as far as the journey this year, take the biggest step forward?
Definitely what going on what Chris said, the family aspect and being as close as we were, because in years past we've kind of had our own individual selves play for just our own selves, and this year it's a lot about playing for the guy beside you. It's a lot about being there and picking up your teammates, defending them when something happens, and just having each other's backs.
And where have you seen as far as improvement in your game so far, Chris, from this from preseason practice up to now?
Really just the improvement. Like I said, everybody we've been getting more physical with everything. I feel like everybody's starting to be more in shape, because everybody's getting reps and stuff equally, and I just feel like everybody's there. Everybody's going 100% once we're in the game.
And also describe, as far as from a player standpoint, what's the experience as far as playing under Coach Kofer like?
I really like it. What we started doing with him, we haven't done in the past. we pray every day after practice, after game, before the game, and we've never really done that. And I really like that because like I go to church now, and we're all good Christians, like the three of us that's here, and I just feel like that's really special because like we all live under God's roof, and I feel like he should be a big thing talked about.
Amen to that. And Richard, just what's it been like for you as far as having that experience playing under Coach Kofer?
Definitely. Specifically, I do want to mention the weight room when it comes to him because you see he's a big dude, and he's definitely got that mentality of he wants us to be as strong as possible and whip people's tails, and it all starts in that weight room. And I've never felt so athletic in my life, and it's an amazing feeling because he's brought that to us, and it like for the people in next year's team and the years after, while he's still here, they're definitely getting something out of it.
And then as far as this Friday, obviously final home game, senior night, when it comes to Beulah coming in, just how important is it for y'all as far as being able, especially for the last time in front of the home folks, to get a W?
Oh, it's one of the most important things in the world. I mean, I've gone through 5 seasons of playing this game and just being a part of the varsity team and playing for Weaver, and it's for this being my last home game, and for Chris too. It's one of the most important things to us because we want to come out with a win. We want to give ourselves that chance to leave a legacy behind as being the team that set the foundation for the new age Weaver.
And then I want to follow up on that, Chris, as far as what type of legacy do you want to be able to leave behind?
Like you said, I want to be like we haven't been to the playoffs in a while, so I want to be the team that that like sets the tone, like bring Weaver's name back, like bring them back up, like where people actually hears about us, like in football, they like when they think of Weaver, they're also thinking about football and not other things.
And then especially for you, really for both of you, just as far as this being your senior year, what's been kind of your mindset as far as just playing your final year in a high school football uniform for Weaver?
My mindset, I really want to give it my 100% because it's my last year, so I want to like show out and show what I could do, and I just feel like it's really important to just give it your all and play as you can because after this, there's no more of that for most people.
And then Richard, same for you. Just kind of what's been the year like for you, especially with this being your senior year, knowing that this will be your final year in a Weaver uniform?
Like Chris said, just leave it all out there, man. I mean, a lot of us won't be able to play this game after this, and it's such a surreal moment that you have to leave it all out on the field and have no regrets.
And then before we leave, for both of you, as far as when you're done with your high school football careers, as well as when you get your high school diploma, walk across the stage, where's that life journey for both of you going to take you after your high school, both your days as a high school student and football player?
I don't really plan on, if you're asking, like, I don't really what my plans are after high school.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't plan on playing college football. I don't plan on even attempting to because I've left. I know for me at least, I feel like I've left it all out to where I really don't have anything else to prove. And then I'm hoping to, of course, go to college and hopefully go to Auburn. I'm an Alabama fan, Roll Tide all the way. But I'm hoping to go to Auburn and pursue an engineering degree and just have a chance to make myself a good life.
Well, they certainly have one of the top engineering schools
yes, sir.
in the country and well regarded for many, many years. And Chris, same for you. What are your plans as far as following your high school football career?
I'm not really 100%. I know I might not be going for football, but I kind of want to go to college for like ministry and do something involved in the church. Like it don't matter what. Like I kind of want to be like a youth director or something like that.
Okay.
And hopefully I'm gonna be like help at like church camps and stuff, like the counselors and everything. Help like teach kids like the Word of God and everything.
Interesting. So what got you interested in that?
being at camps and stuff like that, and just like talked about it with my youth pastor. Just like I don't know, it's like something you look at and you just admire it, and you just have a feeling that that's what you want to do, or like you get signs to where like that's what you need to do in life.
Very good, very good. I think we'll leave it off with that. As Richard Knowlton, Chris Thornton with us, as far as our players from the Weaver Bearcats. James Hardy with you. We'll continue on with the FNN Coaches Show here at Struts Wings in Oxford. Still Westbrook Christian and the Southside Panthers to come here on tonight's edition of the FNN Coaches Show.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver Card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Griffin Laser Engraving in Lincoln is your authorized local dealer for personalized Yeti products. Get your Yeti customized for your team, a business, or a special event. Your color, graphics, even photos. At Griffin Laser Engraving, we make it the way you want it. Order just one or hundreds, and you'll find a full line of Yeti coolers and accessories on hand, even the hard-to-find items. Nationally recognized, but right here at home in Lincoln for quality awards, trophies, powder coating, and personalized Yeti items, Griffin Laser Engraving.
Family owned and operated for over 50 years, Miller Funeral Home is committed to providing families with the finest services for their loved ones, including our newest service, Aquamation. Aquamation is a gentle, respectful, and eco-friendly alternative to flame cremation. Miller Funeral Home is the only facility in the state of Alabama that offers the Aquamation service. Call us or visit our website today to learn more about how we can serve you and your loved ones.
All right, welcome back to Struts Wings, Tuesday night high school football coaches show here at Struts of Oxford. Jim Jacobs, Joe Medley returns, and, of course, to my left, the head football coach of the Southside Panthers, Coach Miles Holcomb, joins us here at the table. Coach, welcome back to Struts, and, boy, what a season.
Yes, sir. It's been fun so far, Still got a lot of things that we have on our to-do list that we hadn't accomplished yet, but it's been a fun group to coach. Obviously, I was talking to a couple of our guys the other day. It's probably been one of the most fun years that I've had. Outside of some of the heartbreaks that we've had to kind of suffer when you see guys that are, seniors and they end up losing, their senior year and they don't get to play and don't get to finish it the way they want to, and some of the stresses of just like trying to figure out like, well, where are we going to put, who's going to go here, who's going to go here, like how is this going to play in, but. It's been fun. They're a fun group to coach. There's no doubt about that. And then, like we tell them after every game, like, if you don't enjoy being part of this team, like something's probably wrong with you. So, so
you're in the driver's seat. You win Friday night. Everything's real simple. How does that compare to where you saw things being in preseason?
I think for us, like we always knew we had a pretty talented group, coming in this year. We tried not to look towards the future. We just tried to play like each week because we didn't want to wish time away. But I'd be lying to you if I didn't say that we felt like we had the chance and we had the team to be sitting where we are right now. So, it's fun to be here. It's fun to be kind of sitting where we're sitting, but at the same time, there's still work left to be done. We got a long way to go.
Coach, talk a little bit about, week 0. Like you said, everything's in front of you. You got a plan. You got a quarterback that's been with you forever, it seems like, that's incredibly talented young man, got his head in all the right places, and, the unthinkable happens.
Mm-hmm.
What was the ride home that night like for you?
Well, we stayed there for a while. We played Hoax Bluff, and then we were there we always kind of stay, a decent amount of time and kind of go back and watch the game a little bit. And then most of our kids come back in, and a lot of them will go and they'll most of the time they eat at Waffle House, and then they'll come back and they'll sit in the office with us. And most of the time they're 5 or 6 guys still sitting in the office at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning with us, watching tape or just talking. Sometimes we're just talking about like what happened or what do we got next week or whatever the case is. That one was pretty tough. We didn't know at the time. We had kind of got a little bit. We had like a little bit of hope that there was some
that he could get back.
That he could come back. Yeah, we didn't know like maybe it was a strain. Maybe it was going to be a couple weeks. Like we knew he was going to be out the next week. But other than that, we didn't really know what it was going to look like. And then one of the guys that's here tonight, like Caden. I remember Caden came back and he's like, Coach, what are you thinking? And we were just the kid Jordy, who's playing quarterback now, like he was there with us, and we were just kind of sitting around talking, and he was in there, and we were like, I think that we're going to have to look at this next week. We're going to look at you going back there and seeing what you can do back there, just because he's also like a pretty dynamic runner also. And having some stuff where Teague takes snaps, having some stuff where Caden takes a couple snaps, having some stuff where Jordy was back there. And I think, Jordan's came in and done, he's performed pretty well.
Yeah, I think so.
I think he's completing like right after Alexandria. I think he's completing right at like 78% of his passes for like 810 yards and 8 touchdowns. He's thrown 1 pick. That was against Boaz. And it was probably our fault. It's probably my fault. Like we had a signal that looked similar to another signal, and so we kind of got a little bit confused. And so he threw something, and Shaver run something else, and that was really why he threw the pick. But he's already texted me tonight like, hey, can we watch tape in the morning? That's kind of who he is. That's kind of the way he is. And so, but that night was a tough night. Just uncertainty. Just the uncertainty of we knew how good we could be, and we'd already lost a guard that Tuesday. A big guard that Tuesday going into that Hoax Bluff game, and then to lose somebody else during the game, and it was just we were like, that was a tough blow.
Of course, you never wanted to lose Gage, but if you had to lose him, you're looking at a situation now where the guy that's replaced him has several starts under his belt as you start to enter postseason. Just how do you feel about that situation now?
Well, I think he's matured as a quarterback. This is we're still trying to teach him different things, and we're still trying to. It's anytime you have to read like a post-snap safety rotation, that's tough. And so like our defense kind of gives us a little bit of that when we go scale and practice. Anytime we go good on good, and so it's one thing to be able to understand like, well, I'm going to run this route in a certain way, and I know the quarterback's going to read it here. But then when you're the one having to take the snap and you got to set the protection, you got to make sure that everybody's lined up, and then you got to actually like take the snap and read it and then deliver it at the right time and at the right place. That's a whole different deal. And where he is right now compared to where he was against Lincoln is like daylight and dark.
Well, but I think a lot of that has to be attributed to you because, quarterbacks are your wheelhouse. That's kind of what you told me you really focus on when you break things out. And I'm sure Gage has been a huge help.
Yes, a ton. G's done – G's over there with us every day like today. I'll ask G like pre-practice, like, hey, man, what do you think we need to work on with him today? And he'll be like, well, let's work on this. And his front leg's kind of opening here, And G's like another quarterback coach. He's like a quarterback coach for us. And, he goes in. He don't miss anything we do. He's always there. He'll sit in the office with us as a coaching staff. Like, he's kind of going through it just like he's, he's trying to get ready to go play college football too. So he's trying to see it from our perspective so that when he gets to the next level, then he's still ready. He's still ready to play. And he sees it, and he sees it the way that he's supposed to see it. And so he knows he's a leader on the team, and he still has to find ways to add value, and because that's just the type of person that he is, and that's the way he's always going to be. So, he's just like another quarterback coach, and us being able to kind of get him in the other night against Alexandria at the end of the game where he could take a knee and finish out at home in the regular season on senior night, where his last play, at home in Barney Hood Stadium wasn't when, he tore his ACL. That was pretty important for us. and we wanted to make sure that he could get in and do that, and he was at a spot in his recovery where, he was able to do that. So, and you wish you could do that for all the guys that were banged up, because we got a bunch of them that are seniors. We lost a senior receiver that I wish we could have done something like that for too. And, he just his knee injury was a little bit different than G's was. And so Gage was just a little bit further along where we were able to, get him out there where he could kind of take a knee and he could dress. And it was a cool deal.
I kind of want to go back to the Leeds game for just a minute because obviously we were there and saw it in person. I think one of the most impressive things that most people probably don't realize about that game that you watch is how you guys handled those defensive ends that Leeds has. I mean, those guys they're dogs.
Yeah, they're the real deal.
I mean,
the whole front, it ain't even just those two defensive ends. Like those two interior guys probably don't get enough credit for how good they are too.
And I mean, you just did not let them take over the game.
We knew that, the strength of our football team has been able to run the football in our offensive line and our tight ends and fullbacks and really losing a receiver to injury, losing a receiver to having to come back and play quarterback, we were left with like two guys that we started the season with at receiver, and then we got two sophomores, a tight end and a sophomore fullback that we've just had to just really lean on, ever since that happened. But those two guys can do some things in the throw game also. And then we've had a sophomore receiver that's kind of came in and played really well. I mean, made a big catch going into the 2-minute against Boaz. But we knew we were going to have to lean on our front. And last year we felt like we got a little cute with them. We was trying to do some stuff on the perimeter. And we felt like we got better up front from last year to this year. We felt like we had some guys that were a little bit more, got a little bit bigger and matured a little bit. And last year we went into that game and we felt like it was a little too big for us because we went in there 5-1 the same way we went in there this year, 5-1. And that game was a little too big and we weren't prepared for that and we just needed more time. And so we got back to that spot, coming off of like a super emotional game against Boaz when, we're down 2 scores late. Teague has his first fumble of the season, backed up. Defense had been struggling. We ended up forcing them to attempt a field goal. They miss it. We go down and get a score, and then we end up getting a 3-and-out right after that, and then get a chance. And Caden catches a touchdown with like 36 seconds left in the game to tie it up to send it to overtime. And then defense ends up getting a goal line stand, forced them to kick a field goal, and then we ended up running it in the second play of overtime for us. And then going into the next game. Against Leeds, we just said, look, like let's do what we do. We felt like if we're gonna find a way to beat this team as elite as they are, and as good as their front is, well, let's lean on our best and let's see if our best is as good as their best, and let's see what happens. And it probably wasn't very pretty, and fans probably didn't love watching it. But if as a football coach and as somebody who played offensive line in college and enjoys the run game and things like that, like you go back and turn it on. That's a fun game to watch.
Oh, absolutely, great football game, no question.
How about your defense? Other than the one big number in the overtime game with Boaz, it seems like it's been a constant for you.
Yeah, it's been. I mean, I think Justin has done an incredible job with them. And it's like it's kind of the same deal. Like we've lost a couple guys on the defensive line too. Like we've got a defensive end that we're hoping we can get back. Before the playoffs or by the playoffs. We lost an outside backer that was huge for us. I mean, we've had a couple guys kind of go down and then be able to come back and. We got a defensive lineman back last week, and then, had one kind of go out again, and so it's just one of them things where we're piecing it together, but guys are just stepping in and doing what they're supposed to be doing. And defensively against Leeds, man, they played they played lights out. I mean, I think they felt like they had something to prove after the Boaz game. It just kind of didn't feel like we played our best that night. And credit to some of that Boaz is a good football team too. Their offense is really good. The Pierce kid's an incredible quarterback. They got 2 running backs that can play. Their offensive line's big. They're physical. I mean, Coach Sullivan always does a great job with his offense, and so credit to them. Like they had a good plan coming against us, but going into the Leeds game, they felt like they had something to prove, and they rose to the challenge. And when I seen how fast we were playing, how physical we were playing, and all year. You can turn the tape on first quarter, fourth quarter, doesn't matter the score. We got 11 people running at the football. And that's been something that's been really, really fun to see, regardless of what the score is, up, down, didn't matter. Like, we were running to the football. And that's something that I know Justin's been harping on for them since the beginning, because we're athletic. You know, we're not huge up front right now. You know, if we get McCade back, I mean, he helps that some. But we're not huge up front. But I think we got two of the best linebackers in the state. I think our DBs are pretty good. I think they just continue to get better. I think we got two of the best safeties that we could ask for. One of them's here tonight, but, like, you know, Cole Garrett and Brody McCutcheon are two of the best safeties that you may see, you know. And I don't even know if anybody, you know, knows how good they are, you know, because they kind of get overshadowed a little bit by Titan and Bowers, because they're always making plays. Like, those two guys are always making plays, you know.
Coach, I don't know really what to expect out of Moody this Friday. I mean, they got their hearts broke at Leeds this past week, and it looks like they're a traveling team regardless of what happens Friday. So talk a little bit about the Blue Devils and what you expect.
Well, I know it's going to be a battle, you know. Coach Gaines does an awesome job with them. I mean, I would assume that it's going to be a packed-out house like it always is at their place.
Yep.
I think it's going to be a super fun environment, you know, for our guys to get a chance to go over there and experience playing in something like that. We got them at our place last year, and so it'll be fun to go over there and play. You know, I think their defense is similar to Leeds. You know, I think they've got their secondary is elite. You know, I don't think their defense line probably gets enough credit for how good they are. The linebackers can run. I mean, everybody knows how, you know, explosive their offense is. Burke is probably one of the best. He's probably one of the best running backs in the state. You know, I would assume. I know he was last year. And then I don't think much has changed. You know, if you take away the Bishop McNamara game, I would assume he's probably looking at probably 200 yards a game. You know, and they're playing Bishop McNamara. They're in there with Gonzaga and St. John's College and DeMatha and all those schools. And so, you know, they play them to a 14-10 game. And so you know how elite that team is. And, you know, they've played in big games. They're excited about it. I'm sure they're excited to play us and excited to get a chance to be back home. And, you know, it's a little easier to get back up after a loss than it is after a win. You know, so I'm sure they don't probably want to feel that way again, especially at home. I think this closes out the season for them, so I would assume it's probably senior night for them. You know, so we know we're in for a dogfight. But you wouldn't have it any other way. Like, this region that we feel like prepares you to get a chance to play. You know. And
God, the cross is just so tough. I mean, you got Ramsey out there.
Well, you know, I think this year the way the cross goes, we'll end up crossing. You know, if however it shakes out, you know, we'll cross with the Guntersville region first round. You know, but you still got Ramsey, you still got Pleasant Grove. Nobody really talks about Russellville. You know, and they got one of the best backs in the state, regardless of classification. You know, that it's a
the road to playing after Thanksgiving is pretty darn tough. Isn't it?
There's no question about it. I mean, you look at that. You look at the region that we cross with. You know, and Guntersville. We know what they are.
You know what that song sounds like.
You know, and there's a chance that, like, we may cross. We may have to play Boaz again early in the playoffs. You know, and so we've already seen them once, and so it's always tough to beat a team twice. You know, and so. But at the same time, like, that Arab team beat that Guntersville team. So you know how good they are. You know what Coach Osmond did last year with that Arab team. And then we ain't even talked about Scottsboro. And Scottsboro may end up winning that region with the way that the tiebreakers work and everything else. And, like, Coach Bell with what they do on offense, and my boy Miles, who runs the defense over there, like, I mean, they're going to be a tough out too, you know. So and you never know. Like, obviously that John Carroll bunch this out of that Birmingham area, they've got better. So it's the playoffs is going to be a dogfight either way. But that's what you enjoy. That's what you enjoy doing. That's why you enjoy coaching it, is getting to coach in games like this and get to play in games like this. And like we told our kids on Monday, like, this is what we wanted. Like, we've been trying to build this thing where we can play in games like this and compete in games like this. And be around this type of game, this type of atmosphere this late in the season.
Well, Coach, I know when we sat down before the first snap of the year, we talked about Southside not being a mid-packer anymore, and by God, you've accomplished it this year.
Yes, sir. You know,
and it's not over.
It's not over. That's right. You know, we knew going in what our, you know, how how bad we had been in October, November. We didn't win one last year. We only won one the year before. It was like 1-9 going into October, November, the past 2 years. And so that was something that we really wanted to change from the time we started, off-season lifts till now. And so, we just got to keep finding ways to win. That's the biggest thing.
Well, tell us about the two young men we're going to let James visit with here.
Yeah, well,
who you brought with you?
We got Caden McMichael and we got Brody McCutcheon. I mean, two just, Caden McMichael's a senior receiver. Dude does everything. I don't think he's been in a game. I've not been at Southside when he's not started a game. So he started every game since I've been here. I think as of this time now, like with G being out and with Scotty being out, there's three guys that started every game since I've been here. And it's Caden, our center Jake Stewart, and Titan Rich are the three guys that started every game that I've been here. And so he's here. And then we got our junior DB, Brody McCutcheon, who's just, he kind of does a little bit of everything. He was voted, both of these two guys were voted as captains by their peers. And then, their work ethic and their numbers kind of say it all. Caden's been huge for us as a receiver. He had a rushing touchdown last week. B-Max always, whether he's playing the middle safety, whether he's having to spin down and play off the edge. Last year he had to play outside linebacker, and then, we were able to kind of slide him back and let him play safety, which is more of his natural position this year. But he's a great, the way he communicates in the back end, that's helped us tremendously. And just having these two guys here tonight, man, is, we got a bunch of guys that's just fun to be around and fun to coach. And these are two guys that are no different and are great representations of who our team is.
Well, let's get them in here. Let's take a break. We'll be right back with those two Southside Panthers, and James will visit with them next here on the Tuesday Night High School Football Coaches Show on FNN.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver Card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Advantage Tire and Alignment on Highway 202 in Anniston is so much more than just a new tire and rim shop. There's not enough time in this ad to tell you all the many things they can do to help keep your car in tip-top shape. Advantage Tire uses ASE certified technicians, so any work done is top-notch. Bottom line, if it needs repaired or replaced, they can probably do the job and save you money. And when it comes time for new or used tires and rims, Advantage Tire and Alignment prices just can't be beat. Stop in and see Bruce and the crew today. Advantage Tire and Alignment.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
And we welcome you back into Strut Swings here in Oxford for the FNN Coaches Show. James Hardy with you. We continue our look as far as the Southside Panthers because they have one of our biggest games of the season coming up on Friday as part of our FNN Game of the Week. And not only any FNN Game of the Week, but our battle for the belt is this Friday in our trip over on I-20 to Moody High School, on the other side of I-20 on Highway 411, as the Southside Panthers will take on the Blue Devils of Moody. And joining us as far as our player spotlight for the Southside Panthers, Caden McMichael and Brody McCutcheon with us, two stars from the Southside Panthers football squad. A big thanks for both of you for joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having us.
Let's start with you, Caden. How fun has this season been for you?
Oh, it's been awesome. My senior season, everybody looks forward to this their whole life. It's been just the guys coming together. It's been awesome. It's been real fun.
And then, Brody, same for you. This feels like a breakthrough season for y'all as far as the football program. Just how exciting, how fun has the season been for you?
Yeah, it's been amazing. Coming in with these guys every week, it's really just a blessing to be able to be with these guys. We really love each other, and it's fun being in there.
And we'll be featuring y'all on Friday. We'll be making the trip over on I-20 to Moody. Big game on Friday as far as an opportunity to clinch sole possession of the region title. But I want to go back to when we last saw y'all against Leeds, Brody. How big of a win was that to get under your belt against a very talented Leeds squad?
Yeah, I think it was a great team win. I think we're really locked in and prepared, and we did what we were supposed to do. And, I don't think there's anybody we can't beat. We obviously proved that then, and it was just a good team win.
And then, Caden, just talk about as far as that Leeds game. Obviously, y'all faced one of the very talented, one of the top defenses as far as the Leeds Green Wave. Just as far as I know, you had a big touchdown in that game in the fourth quarter. Just how big of a win was it for y'all to get that important W under your belt?
Yes, sir. It was a huge win for our confidence. I mean, nobody picked us to win. We're getting pretty used to that. Nobody's going to pick us to win. I think it was a really good team win. It was awesome.
I remember actually prior to that game talking to Coach Miles Holcomb as far as the team feeling that y'all weren't getting the respect that y'all deserved. Do you all feel like you're getting that respect now, especially after that win?
Honestly, no, not really. But I really don't think we need the respect. We're just going to keep taking it from people.
And then I'm curious at this, too. Obviously, Gage Neesmith, a very talented quarterback, experience coming into the season. But it seems as if Jordan Bryan has really just been able to step right in and really just kind of help carry the offense forward. Just kind of talk about the job Jordan's been doing this year at quarterback.
Oh, it's been awesome. I mean, I've never seen somebody work as hard as a position as him. He's never played quarterback before, the injury, obviously. And he just moved in, and he's worked harder than anybody I've ever seen at it. He's done a great job.
And then, Brody, and then on the flip side, too, as far as y'all's defense was outstanding as far as that Leeds win, and really for much of the season as well. Just kind of talk about as far as the defense's performance so far to get y'all to where you're at now.
Yeah, I think all the guys on the defensive side of the ball do a great job. We got a lot of guys that rotate in and out that are real flexible, can move and play in different spots. And I think we just do a good job of coming in every week prepared and doing what we're supposed to be doing. Just doing the little things the right way. We stay locked in, we stay focused, and we just practice hard. And I think that shows up on Friday nights. Coach Bond does a great job getting us in a good game plan, and we just go out there and execute, and we just make plays and just try to give our offense the best position to win the game.
As far as the week of practice, what's been the message from Coach Holcomb to y'all as far as this Friday night?
Just win. It's been the same message all year long. Nobody really picks us to win. We don't get a lot of respect, and whether we deserve that or not, it doesn't matter. Just go out there and win and just take it.
It just seems like watching your program as far as the last couple of years from my vantage point up in the press box that y'all have had shown a lot of potential as far as the talent, being competitive in games against good opponents, but haven't quite gotten that win y'all needed to. Did it feel like that Leeds win? It kind of seemed like a breakthrough win to me, at least in my eyes. Did it seem like a breakthrough win to y'all when y'all got off the field that night?
Yeah, for sure. We haven't really been known to win games like that. It felt good to get one of those on our belt, for sure.
And then obviously Moody's another top 10, top 5 type of opponent when it comes to Class 5A in the entire state. How big is this game for you all as far as taking another step forward with this team?
It's a huge game. Obviously, for the region championship, a big one to go get.
And then, Caden, as far as just what's the excitement been as far as the football program around the school and with the Southside community?
You talking about for this game?
Not only for this game, but just your team's success so far this season.
Oh, yeah. Anywhere you go in Southside, everybody's talking about football. It's all everywhere you go eat. You always got the older people eating in the morning at Jack's. Always want to talk to you about football. It's awesome.
There you go. Just kind of further elaborate, Brody, as far as just the excitement in the community thanks to y'all's success.
Yeah, I think we have a great community. You know, everybody likes a winner, and we've been winning a lot lately, so that helps a lot. You know, we have just a great support everywhere that we travel well. We have a lot of fans, and, you know, anywhere you go, Southside Rainbow City, you're going to have somebody ask you about, you know, the game Friday and this one coming up, and, you know, go get them. So I think our community does a great job.
And then, Brody, just kind of talk about the improvement you've seen as far as your own game over the course of your career.
Yeah, I think that, you know, with everything, it's just a reps thing, and I think that the longer I've played, the more reps I've gotten. And Coach Holcomb and Coach Bowen and Coach Scoop, they do a great job of getting us prepared, and they just teach us a lot. And I think that I've just, over time, with the opponents we've seen, been able to grow and just see things quicker. Everything's starting to slow down for me now.
And then, Caden, the same for you. I know you, Jordan, Gage, throw in Mason Teague the last year or so now. Y'all have really kind of come up together as far as that offensive unit for your squad. Just kind of talk about how you've been able to grow as far as just your football career.
The main thing for me was just learning to love practice, go full speed in practice every day. Like, I ain't gonna lie, my sophomore year, I hated practice, and I would go half speed. And just learning to, like, how we practice all week is gonna be how we play on Friday. Like, if we have a bad week of practice, we're gonna play bad on Friday. If we have a good week of practice, we're going to play good on Friday.
And then I want to go back to Jordan Bryan because I know something Coach Holcomb mentioned to me, a couple of things was just his leadership presence as far as the offense, but also just really, for lack of a better term, how much of a film rat he is as far as just being prepared. How can you notice just his level of preparation as far as when he's leading y'all at quarterback?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, any 11 starters could ask Jordan what they need to do. Like, our left tackle could ask Jordan, what do I do on, like, a certain play, and Jordan will know. He'll know every single position, every single play.
And then final question for you, how far can this team go?
State championship.
So how do you feel, Brody, the potential of this team?
I think we can go as far as we want to go. It's going to be up to us, and I think that's going to be all the way.
So what do y'all need to do as far as being able to accomplish what you want to accomplish?
Just win. Every day, every rep. Just win the rep, win the day, win the game.
So one more time, don't forget, folks, we'll have the battle for the belt as part of our FNN High School Football Game of the Week over in Moody. And there you see our battle of the belt for the 2023 season, Southside at Moody. Southside has an opportunity to go undefeated in Class 5A Region 6 this season and, of course, fully clinch that number 1 seed out of Region 6 on Friday night. Opportunities there for the Panthers really to make a little history as far as having one of their best, already having really one of their best seasons in about the last 10 years or so. A big thanks to Brody McCutcheon, Caden McMichael, as we'll be seeing y'all on Friday. Good luck Friday and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And obviously a big thanks for joining us. The FNN Coaches Show rolls on, however, as we'll have Steve Smith and Westbrook Christian coming up, and still our FNN Player of the Week for this week to award. And we invite you to stay tuned here at Stretch Wings in Oxford. This is the FNN Coaches Show.
Family owned and operated for over 50 years, Miller Funeral Home is committed to providing families with the finest services for their loved ones, including our newest service, Aquamation. Aquamation is a gentle, respectful, and eco-friendly alternative to flame cremation. Miller Funeral Home is the only facility in the state of Alabama that offers the Aquamation service. Call us or visit our website today to learn more about how we can serve you and your loved ones.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the FNM Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Advantage Tire and Alignment on Highway 202 in Anniston is so much more than just a new tire and rim shop. There's not enough time in this ad to tell you all the many things they can do to help keep your car in tip-top shape. Advantage Tire uses ASE certified technicians, so you know any work done is top-notch. Bottom line, if it needs repaired or replaced, they can probably do the job and save you money. And when it comes time for new or used tires and rims, Advantage Tire and Alignment prices just can't be beat. Stop in and see Bruce and the crew today. Advantage Tire and Alignment.
Welcome back to Tuesday night's high school football coaches show here at Struts Wings in Oxford. Jim Jacobs, Joe Medley back at the table with the head football coach of the Westbrook Christian Warriors. God, I can't believe I said that right. Coach Steve Smith. I'm going to let Joe ask all the football questions.
Okay.
I'm going to ask the silly stuff.
Gotcha.
What'd you do with all your blue stuff?
Well,
because you were just 17 years of it?
17 years worth. Rachel and Savannah still at Piedmont.
Yeah.
Savannah's senior year this year, so we still pull for Piedmont.
Oh, I know you do.
So, I still got a lot of it. I passed a little bit of it on to some of the newer coaches, and the boys of mine, they still support Piedmont, so they were able to wear some of it. So we didn't really get rid of a lot of it.
This won't be a silly question, but a sentimental one. The experience with Savannah at homecoming. What was that like for you guys?
Oh, that was super cool. You talk about it, and you talk about all the memories from all the Friday nights on the sidelines, and good Lord bless me with the opportunity to get to coach Sean and Sloan and all the great players over the years at Cedar Bluff and at Piedmont and now at Westbrook. And all those Friday nights are memorable. But I was telling Mr. Jim earlier, that, walking out on the field with Savannah and her being crowned homecoming queen, that was right up there with the best Friday night moments in my life. It was really, really special, not getting to coach her on the football field, getting to spend 4, 5, 6 years with the guys out there, and then they were managers for years, We had a lot of special memories just between me and the boys, but that's one special memory with me and her that I'll always remember and always cherish, and it was a super special night.
There were some really, really good pictures of you cracking a dad smile. I'll say that.
Oh, yeah. And I'll tell you, from a football coach's perspective, you game plan, you play against other people, and you compete and all that stuff, but and them calling her name out and her being the homecoming queen and getting to walk out and listening to her accomplishments and things that she was part of and members of and the things that she does, outside. Very proud of all my kids and super proud of Savannah, on that particular night to realize that all the hard work and stuff that she had put in was being recognized and that her peer group thought enough of her to vote her as the homecoming queen. I thought that said a lot about her.
And then in a couple of weeks, she'll get to sign to be a D1 athlete.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think that 2 weeks from Thursday, I believe, is the day that she's going to put her name on the line there. And just so very thankful and fortunate for the opportunity that Jacksonville State and Coach McGinnis has offered her to be able to continue her career as a softball player. And super sentimental there as well, with Rachel and I both being Jack State alums, and her mom in particular being a softball player, playing for Coach McGinnis herself, and now getting to see her daughter play for Coach McGinnis is pretty special. I don't think there's anybody in the business any better than Jenna McGinnis.
Well, let's talk about Westbrook Christian for just a couple of minutes. What's it been like, the transition?
Well, it's ball part is ball. The kids at Westbrook have been phenomenal. I've been so pleased with the opportunity to get to work with those guys. They do everything that we ask them to do. They're eager. They want to be coached. They want you to, explain to them what you want them to do, and then they go out and give their best effort trying to do it. And I've got a great group of coaches that I'm working with there that have been extremely dedicated. Our administration have been all behind what we're trying to do, with the athletic program as a whole, but football in particular. The experience there, I've played against some private schools in the past, and a lot of times even some really successful ones, that it didn't have a big fan base, didn't have a big following, you know, but when you go to a Westbrook game and you see that big home side over there and it's full, and there's a lot of people that rally behind that school and support us, and it's been really special. We'd like to have, you know, a little bit better results than what we've had to this point, but that's everybody, I think. Unless you win them all, you're always looking at ways to improve, and you know, the kids have been giving us everything they've got and giving great effort. We've played pretty well the last couple of weeks. Played probably 2 of our better games of the year, to be honest with you, and just watching them grow and get better, it's been really rewarding to me. And we completed our junior high and JV seasons last night. Both of those teams were very successful this year, so a lot of kids interested in football, a lot of kids that are out there and giving great effort, and you know, looking forward to the future.
How is it analogous to year one at Piedmont?
You know, to be perfectly honest with you, the things at Westbrook were not really that far off or out of place of what I'm used to. You know, it just was a situation that our biggest thing, I mean, and I think most people that can watch games and see and observe, we've got to get stronger. We got to get bigger. You know, we're not very competitive at the physical part of the game right now, and that's something that will come with time and weight training and those types of things. The kids have got a great workout ethic. You know, they're doing everything that we ask them to do there. But we've obviously got to get bigger and stronger and faster, all the things that coaches typically say. But I think that'll come. And like I said, the guys and the girls are involved in strength training right now at the school during the school day, and that's something that we really worked hard to try to get. And our principal, Ms. Neal, she was very accommodating to be able to get all of our athletes in strength training during the day, and got a lot of coaches that are helping out with that, and coaches are on board with what we're trying to do. And I think you'll see results of that, you know, in the coming year for sure.
How refreshing was it for you to take on a different challenge? I mean, you know, you did what you did at Piedmont for 17 years and were incredibly successful there. And, I mean, the last 6 or 7 years obviously was in the hunt for a state championship almost every year. How was it? What's it been like to change gears, so to speak?
Well, you know, coaching, you're in the business for winning. I mean, everybody can say all the sentimental stuff, you know, about all the other things, other aspects of it, but the competitive side comes out when you get to Friday night and they're keeping score on the board. So, you know, I said this when I took the job at Westbrook. I felt like I had the best job in the state at Piedmont. I really did. I felt like I had the best job that you could ask for from a competitive standpoint, facilities, players, community support, and all those things. But it was just an opportunity for me and Rachel and our family, just to be honest with you, to retire from the public school system and be able to work at a private school, much like a lot of people do when they retire in Alabama and go to Georgia or whatever. And it was a perfect situation at a place that I did not have to relocate and move. Savannah could stay and finish her senior year at Piedmont. Rachel, of course, works for the school system and coaches there. My parents are still in Center. Rachel's parents live in the Leesburg-Gadsden area, so we didn't move away from our family. We were able to, you know, I drive about 35 miles each day right now. And, you know, both the boys, Sean and Sloan, they're in school at Jacksonville State. So we're about 12 miles from the college. So they're living at home and driving to school and certainly and working. And Sloan's working. Sean's helping us with junior high at Westbrook. So it was not necessarily looking for a new challenge, because from the coaching standpoint, you always wanted to be at a place where you're in the hunt. And I think we can get there at Westbrook. I really believe that in my heart. But it was more of a decision that was something that was a future decision family-wise, that was a great opportunity. And I've always thought that Westbrook was an opportunity that could be really, really special. And then, you know, the facility upgrades and things that they've done for us already, it's, you know, going to put us right up there on par with anybody in the state.
Yeah, I would say that's happening early on in your tenure at Westbrook, whereas at Piedmont it came a few years down the road.
Yeah.
How does that help you as far as getting to the winning part that you want to get to quicker?
Well, you know, we live in a time in a society where people, you know, people want to be at the premier programs. They want to be at the places that have the nice facilities, the turf fields, and the things of that nature. I mean, it's a little bit different than it was 30 years ago when I was a kid growing up. And, you know, pretty much if you're not willing to upgrade in your facilities and things of that nature, then you're probably going to get left behind. And that's just, it's a trickle-down effect of the college game. I mean, college game usually gets their stuff from the professional ranks, and the high school gets it from the college. It just sort of, you know, filters its way down. being able to have the number one thing is it's practical. We got a lot of kids working out. We needed a bigger weight room, and we needed a meeting room. We needed a place to watch film. We needed a place to do all the things that's part of running the football program. And they had some of those things already in place, but it kind of was outdated a little bit, and they wanted to update and upgrade. And I think they did a wonderful job constructing one of the finest football facilities I've ever seen.
All right. Go ahead, Joe.
So are you ready for NIL?
No, I'm not. I'm against that. I think it's a bad deal. I know everybody says it's inevitable, but I think that's really a bad thing for sports on the college level as well. But I think it's a terrible thing for high school athletics, and it's just not anything that I care to be a part of.
Coach, let's talk about this young man that you brought with you tonight to pick up this award.
Yeah, LaMichael Mitchell is our representative here tonight, and LaMichael had a really, really good game for us this past week at Plainview. He contributed in several facets. He had 3 or 4 catches for us. I don't remember all the statistical numbers, but I know that he had he caught a 2-point conversion. He had 4 or 5 rushes and had a touchdown rushing. He had a 72-yard punt return for a touchdown. And then we had a couple of injuries in our secondary, and he had to play some spot duty at defensive back and had a pass breakup and 3 or 4 tackles, I think, on the defensive side. So just a really, really talented athlete. His best football is in front of him. I think he's got a chance to play at the next level if that's what the good Lord leads him to do. I think he's got an opportunity to do that, and he's gotten better and better each and every week. So I'm really, really proud of LaMichael.
All right, well, let's get him in here. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back and present our Player of the Week award as our Tuesday night high school football coaches show rounds third and heads home here at Struts in Oxford on FNN.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
A lot of people always wonder, how does your first-time buyers program work? Hey, I'm here to tell you that we do bad credit, good credit, even no credit at all. I even got down payments as low as $500, even got cards as low as $169 a month. So stop by, let's check it out. Let's see if we can get you approved today. Come by at 411 East Street North, Talladega, Alabama, 35160. Telephone number 205-332-7993. Let's come get you a deal.
Family owned and operated for over 50 years, Miller Funeral Home is committed to providing families with the finest services for their loved ones, including our newest service, Aquamation. Aquamation is a gentle, respectful, and eco-friendly alternative to flame cremation. Miller Funeral Home is the only facility in the state of Alabama that offers the Aquamation service. Call us or visit our website today to learn more about how we can serve you and your loved ones.
Plainview, and of course you get in.
All right, welcome back to Struts here in Oxford. During the break, I was asking Coach Smith about the playoff picture for his 3A region there, and of course you guys have a tough one with Sylvania Friday night, but right. Sylvania, Geraldine, that's pretty much, I think, a done deal, isn't it?
I think barring something crazy happening, I think they're pretty much locked in as 1 and 2.
And I think Hoax Bluff and Piedmont, they're playing this week, and I think that's what, for 3 probably?
Well, you got Ohatchee in the mix too.
Yeah, because I know Ohatchee beat Piedmont.
Yes, and Hoax Bluff beat Ohatchee.
Right.
I think Ohatchee has to play maybe Plainview this week.
Right.
But I think, there's a possibility you could get in one of those tiebreaker situations. I think the simplest thing, Hoax Bluff, I think if they win, they would be 3.
Right.
And then if Piedmont wins, I think there's a chance that any one of those 3 could be 3 based on how the Ohatchee Plainview game turns out and then the tiebreakers.
But regardless, they're going to be traveling week 1.
Yes.
Piedmont, Hoax Bluff, or Ohatchee.
Correct. I believe that's right.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. There's that picture. Let's turn to this young man here to my right, LaMichael Mitchell, our FNN Player of the Week. And first off, young man, welcome to the show. Glad to have you. First timer.
Sir, it's an honor.
Thank you. All right, well, let's get the easy stuff out of the way. What kind of wings?
I had garlic parmesan and 20 of them, but half barbecue, half garlic parmesan.
And you're taking some home, I understand.
Oh, yeah. Very good.
All right, well, good deal. Congratulations, of course, on the award this week. We'll hand that over here to you in just a few minutes. But talk a little bit about what it's been like to play your senior season here for Coach Smith.
Man, it's a blessing. I didn't ever picture myself where I'm at now, and to be where I'm at now is just all glory to God. Not really much more to say about it. It is what it is. You're going to go get it.
Now, Coach says that he thinks you've got an opportunity to possibly play at the next level. What are your plans? Do you have any yet?
I just, wherever. I mean, just want to go play and get an education wherever it's at. Do my best, strive for the best.
Coach, how do you steer a young man like LaMichael when you know they're kind of on the edge of where they might go or what they might want to do? How does a coach help them make that kind of decision?
Well, you know, I think number one, you give the advice that they ask for. You know, if they ask questions like, "What about this place versus this place?" But you know, my primary concern with LaMichael, as well as all the kids that I've had, you know, that I've worked with, is I want them to go somewhere that they're going to be happy and get their education. You know, that the football part of it will end at some point in time, and I want them to be able to get their education. And then you got other factors like, you know, do you have a place that you got academic money? Have you got other ways that you can go to school? And you have to think about all those things because, you know, you want to advise them properly as well to where they don't come out with $50,000-$60,000 worth of debt, you know, if it can be avoided. So, you know, sometimes the allure of signing a scholarship sounds good on the surface, but when you see what some of these kids get and then what they have to still come up with out of pocket, you know, it's tough. You also want to advise them to make good financial decisions. There's nothing wrong with loving the game and wanting to continue to play, and there's no doubt in my mind that there's places that Michael can play at, but, you know, the hard conversations will center around how's this going to affect you, not just for the next 4 years, but the next 40 years. I mean, we want to go somewhere to where you don't accumulate a lot of debt, and you want the biggest thing, make sure you get your education and continue to grow as a person. And in football, if that's part of the avenue that allows you to do so, then that's wonderful. But, you know, just making a good decision for what will affect him positively for the next 40 years.
LaMichael, have you made any decisions about what you'd like to study?
Yes. I like the sports medicine field. I would love to be a sports trainer or a physical therapist, somewhere in that sort. Just love the body.
Yes. Well, Coach, that's not a bad life if he can make that happen, is it?
No, I know right now from all the doctors groups and things that we work with, they're begging for more athletic trainers, and you know, the need for that in sports is you see them more and more incorporated at the high school level. You know, there's a shortage of them, so I know that they're really crying out for people coming out with those types of degrees. So I think it will be an excellent choice for him.
LaMichael, let's talk about the game with Plainview this past Friday night. I especially want to talk about the 72-yard touchdown punt return. What was that like as it all unfolded in front of you on the field?
It was just eye-opening. Like, I had great set-up blocks for my teammates and stuff. I just had to use the eyesight and get around and make it to the end zone.
At what point in that process did you feel like, hey, I'm going to get there, I'm going all the way, we're going to get 6?
Well, I kind of caught the punt, made one move, and then went towards the right and saw just something open up, and I was just like, I got to get there.
And then, of course, Coach said you had a nice night helping out on defense. You had to go in and kind of help. What was that like, playing something different that maybe you're not used to doing on a week-to-week basis?
It was awesome. I loved every bit of it.
Nothing like hitting somebody, is it?
No.
All right. Well, got Sylvania this Friday night. That's going to be a tough one.
Oh, yeah. I agree. We bring it to them. We can win this game.
All right. Well, there you go. That's a Steve Smith mentality right there.
Hey, you got to play the game, man. Sylvania's got a great team. They've already secured the region championship, and you know, they had a really good squad last year. It was a semifinal team, so we know we got our hands full, got our work cut out for us. But the way our guys have been responding the last couple of weeks, I expect us to go out and play our best game of the year.
All right. Well, Michael, let's take care of this. In this box right here is your Week 8 Player of the Week Crystal Trophy. And this is all yours, young man, to take home. Be careful with it. It will break, but it's a nice little piece.
Thank you, sir.
congratulations on earning a really nice award. And, you know, I'm sure Mom will help you find a nice place to display that and keep it as a memory for you as long as you'd like.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, congratulations again, Coach. Always good to see you. We will be back to wrap things up when we continue here live from Struts in Oxford. It's the Tuesday Night Coaches Show on FNN.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Griffin Laser Engraving in Lincoln is your authorized local dealer for personalized Yeti products. Get your Yeti customized for your team, a business, or a special event. Your color, graphics, even photos. At Griffin Laser Engraving, we make it the way you want it. Order just one or hundreds, and you'll find a full line of Yeti coolers and accessories on hand, even the hard-to-find items. Nationally recognized, but right here at home in Lincoln for quality awards, trophies, powder coating, and personalized Yeti items, Griffin Laser Engraving.
Family owned and operated for over 50 years, Miller Funeral Home is committed to providing families with the finest services for their loved ones, including our newest service, Aquamation. Aquamation is a gentle, respectful, and eco-friendly alternative to flame cremation. Miller Funeral Home is the only facility in the state of Alabama that offers the Aquamation service. Call us or visit our website today to learn more about how we can serve you and your loved ones.
And welcome back to our final segment here at Struts Wings in Oxford, the FNN Tuesday Night High School Football Coaches Show. Don't forget now, Friday night, big game, James, over at the Bill. It is the Southside Panthers and the Moody Blue Devils for basically region titles on the line for Southside, no question.
All alone for Southside, as they'd be the only team that can win a region title solo this year.
That's right, and it's outright. And, of course, this right here is up for grabs as well. It's kind of secondary to a region title, but the battle for the belt, our second year in a row we've done that. And either Moody or Southside will put that in their trophy case after Friday night over at Bill Morris Stadium. Don't forget to join us at 6:30 for the countdown to kickoff, 7 o'clock for the game of the week presented by Southeastern Utilities. They'll be our presenting sponsor once again this week. So other than Southside and Moody, Joe, what's big this week?
Well, Anniston and Cleburne County is a game that's going to have an impact around the region, not just for those two teams, but you've got White Plains and Cleburne County and Munford eventually looking, or quite probably looking at a three-way tie, and that game is going to be. It's really important for White Plains that Anniston beat Cleburne County. And then you go down the list here a little bit, and I see Hoax Bluff and Piedmont.
Big game there.
That's real big. Hoax Bluff can be third all by themselves with a win, or that thing can fall into a three-way tie situation. Down the line here a little bit, you've got, of course, Oxford's playing Center Point, and that's a game for second place in that region. With an asterisk, you don't know what's going to happen with that appeal with Pell City.
Right.
Because that would affect Center Point possibly down the road. Raglan and Spring Garden is a game for second and third in that region. Excuse me, I'm sorry. We talked to Coach Kofer earlier, Beulah and Weaver. That could be something, eventually down the road, if that comes down to a three-way tie. Pleasant Valley-Gadsden, that's a game that Pleasant Valley is probably going to win. They're going to finish third in their region.
All right. Well, of course, we'll be here next Tuesday to run it all down for you as to how it all came out. Again, Friday at Moody for Southside and the Blue Devils. Thanks to everyone for joining us here tonight, all our guests, Weaver, Westbrook Christian, and the Southside Crimson Panthers. For Joe Medley, For James Hardy, Jim Jacobs, wishing you all a very good evening from Struts Wings here in Oxford.